I just wanted to say the thing that I realized today. So like every week, I realize like something new that aggravates me about life or something, and that's just kind of become a trend on this podcast. Well, today I realized it really aggravates the hell out of me whenever YouTubers capitalize their videos, but capitalize every single letter in their video title. That freaking... That throws me...
Isn't that like they're yelling at you?
Yeah,
like,
I've never noticed it until today. And someone mentioned it in a comment section I was in. And I was like, what? And then I looked at the title and I was like, oh my gosh, it's annoying. And I went back to my subscription feed and like every other freaking video is all caps. And I have never noticed it before. And it is so annoying. Why? It doesn't... I didn't even notice it until someone pointed it out to me. Like, it definitely doesn't help significantly draw attention to it. It's just really... It's really annoying. So, I just thought I'd throw that out there. But, man...
Maybe they're angry at their own video.
Maybe when and someone in chat. Wait, we'll start with this community feedback early. Jason Lopez, I hate that too, Scaro. It's so annoying, especially when it's clickbait content. Man, YouTubers who are so vague about their videos, or like if there's content where you have to lie about what's inside the video, or it's not interesting enough, so you have to misleadingly title it. It's not worth its own video. Like, why would they even waste their... I know why they would, so they can get that extra money, which is just disgusting. But, like, that irritates the hell out of me. Man. Okay.
All right.
Okay, we good? We got that. There wasn't much for... There wasn't much for Scaro to rant about in this episode, so I thought I'd start it off with a small one. But yeah, you guys ready to start? We all got our drinks and such?
Yeah, just join up on me when you're ready. I got it all queued up.
Oh, join up on O'Connell. All right. We decided this was 24, right?
You said what?
Yes.
Oh, yeah 24.
Well, no, we were actually deciding that Icano was going senile, so I think that's what we're deciding.
Listen, I am only partially going senile.
Dude,
Honey,
so
where'd I put my
the
keys?
Best thing. Here's the best thing if you want to hear a story about going senile is for the last 2 years, I've probably typed in our Wi-Fi password at work probably about 3,000 to 5,000 times. And then I come back to work on Wednesday after like 7 days of vacation, and I could not remember the Wi-Fi password for the life of me. So I had to walk over to the other side of the building and ask somebody what it was. I felt like such an idiot.
That always happened to me, like in high school. Like whenever I was in a hurry, to your locker combination. At some point, it just becomes muscle memory, right?
Yes.
And so, like,
exactly.
if I'm in a hurry to class and I like stare at my lock, I realize like one day I just have no idea what the hell I'm doing, and it's over halfway through the year, And it's like either you get this combination right. You go to class without books, or you're late to class, and so you have to. And so you're sitting there, and you're just that has happened to me more than once. I'll say that. Jason, I like that question. We're gonna save that for the end, the very last segment, community input, because I really do like that question, but it doesn't really fit in anywhere until the end. So, you guys good to go?
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
Yep.
Hey guys! Oh, god dang it, Jay-Z! Right in the middle of my intro.
There's a 2-second delay.
Hey guys, Scaro and I here. Welcome back to my channel today for episode 24 of the Last Word Podcast. Joined as always by Icano and Jay-Z. Welcome guys. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. I just answered for Jay-Z.
Yeah, I just answered.
But thanks for speaking for me. But it's all good.
Oh man! All right, so more laid back week than last week. For sure. It's nice, having awesome information. We have one discussion topic. I kind of was iffy about it. I'll make him switch it, like change his mind by the end of it. But man,
okay.
I'm feeling good today. We just over the last 2 days, it happens every week, but it happened really badly this week. We're always talking about like I'm not sure if we'll have like actual topics this week, and then everything just explodes at once. So our weekly update, happy Bungie Day, everyone. Even though Icano is a Bungie Day hater.
What? No, I'm not. Don't put words in my mouth. I love Bungie Day. I have always loved Bungie Day. You asked me a very pointed question. You said, "Hey, what do you guys think that they're going to do for Destiny 1 on Bungie Day?" I said exactly nothing. I said that they're spread too thin on Destiny 2. We should not expect them to do anything for Destiny 1. Don't expect anything new.
So
and then
sort of
everybody
right.
jumped down my throat. They're like, "You're being too negative," and blah blah blah. And here we are, 7-7. And is there anything new in Destiny 1? No, there's not.
But not
So
in Destiny 1, but they're doing a Destiny community video. So if you have any highlights, there's like a whole format that you do it, submit it to the community page, and at PAX, they're going to debut that. So I'm trying to, I don't know if I save enough clips, but I'm going to try to do that because that would be hella awesome publicity. Plus, it's like, it would be awesome to say like, oh, I was part of the Destiny 1 community thing. So I think that would be really cool. Also, everything in the Bungie store is 17% off. That's pretty cool, I guess. I think I might pick up some posters. Who knows? And they released a couple amazing wallpapers that I'm currently using, but that's pretty much it for Bungie Day. They kind of... What did they do last year? There was... Do they ever do anything huge? It's always just a bunch of competitions, right?
Yeah, I was thinking of that too. Like, did they even do anything in Destiny 1 last year?
Wasn't the Halo... So in Halo,
they did some things, but I can't remember what exactly.
The blue skull, right? That's where the Nightfall skull came from. I'm pretty sure.
Let me look it up.
I think so, man. I think I didn't even play Halo, and I think I just did that. Pretty sure. But yeah, Bungie Day, it's a pretty awesome day. Just because, Bungie and stuff. So, boom. While he looks that up, our first real topic, the beta's info. We got everything that we will be playing in the beta. That's pretty exciting. So, let's see. Icano, do you know? Go ahead and you do it. I always introduce these topics, man, but there's two other people here that know just as much information as me. So, Icano, everything that's going to be in the beta, go.
Okay, no pressure there. I wish I would have had a chance to look this up before the show. Anyways, so basically it's everything that you guys did at the DRE, so the reveal event stuff. So like Homecoming, they're gonna have PvP, like Crucible stuff. They're gonna have Control on a new map. It has to be a new map because the previous map for Countdown was finely tuned for Countdown. So we're not going to be playing Control on that, map on Earth or whatever that you guys were playing on.
Yep. Midtown, I think it was called.
Yeah, Midtown. So there's that, and then there's going to be the Strike that you guys played, and they're going to also add in the Sentinel subclass as well. So you guys are going to be able to, or everybody's going to be able to play as the Sentinel, which is pretty cool. And then on Sunday...
And Arcstrider. Wait, I just want to clarify. You can play all three new subclasses.
Yeah, all three new subclasses.
That could be misunderstood, so I just wanted to clarify. Keep going.
And then on Sunday for an hour, I think they said 10 a.m. Pacific, so that's 1 a.m. Eastern, or 1 p.m. Eastern, I should say.
Yeah.
They're going to open up the farm for everybody to go jump in there and play some soccer for an hour, and just they want to test the server load to see how many people that they can fit in the social spaces at once. I feel like I'm missing something, but
I think that's it.
That's all I can remember.
Control, Countdown, Homecoming, Strike, 1 hour social space, 3 new subclasses. Is that everything?
Got it. And that was with zero preparation.
Boom, there you go. And I was actually telling Jay-Z, we were talking yesterday about doing that, everyone loading in for an hour and playing soccer, but actually, I'm going to have you guys do that, if you want to, of course, and just record some gameplay for me using the Xbox feature, and I'm going to be just exploring for secrets for an hour, because I think that would be a good... Because think about it, if I find something, and none of the other big YouTubers don't find it, right? Then they have to give me credit. That could be a huge thing, right? So
I like it.
Yeah. So as much as I would like to play soccer, I'm not really a fan of the sport. It'll be a lot of fun, but I am content with waiting. And I was asked to stream the entire hour, and I think I will be doing that. So pretty excited for that. Yeah.
Well, here's my thing. I was thinking about that. I mean, we don't know that much about how the farm is going to be segmented off from other areas and all that, but they said they increased the capacity by 10 people, so they can fit 26 people.
26, yeah.
In the farm now.
Was it 26? Okay.
Yeah, it's 26.
It was 16 is the max for the tower right now, and for all the spaces for Iron Temple and all that. I guess my question is, like, when it comes time for soccer, what's gonna stop? Like, if you got, like, 3 of your, like, let's say you got all 6 of your clanmates on in a party, and you get all 6 people in there, 3-on-3. What's going to stop a 7th person from just running in there and just ruining it for everybody?
I don't think it is.
Exactly.
I don't think anything is. And that was my main thing too. It would be really cool to see like 13-on-13 soccer. That would be ridiculous, but it'd be really cool. But I'm sure you're only allowed to have 6 people in your fire team. Or someone in our clan suggested it, clan v clan soccer matches.
Yeah, I was gonna say 6v6 would be awesome. Because it's not a big field from what it looks like.
And that's another thing. They mentioned the social space flares, which we'll talk about in a bit. Just for instance, the one that'll make you run faster.
Yes.
Are you going to be able to get those and cheat in soccer with them?
Yeah, it sounds like it. If you can run faster, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's pretty much. I mean, the beta. Something we could talk about, but real quick, I want to answer Zessy's question. He said, "Will we have access to Voidwalker?" I don't even know if we'll have access to Golden Gun and Striker. All they confirmed were the 3 new subclasses. So we really don't know at this point, which is weird. I feel like they would have confirmed that first, but...
They would have specifically said that.
It would make sense for them to only give you a limited amount of... I mean, like, I don't know if they'd want to put all 6 or 9 6 subclasses in there right off the bat in the beta. Because they'd probably want you to give you something to buy the game for. So
yeah, I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Excuse me. So one thing I was surprised about with this beta, there's actually more than I thought there was gonna be, which I'm not mad about. I respect them having to strike that balance where in Destiny 1 they showed way too much, and so they're trying to make up for it. And I like how much content they're showing here, because it's a nice sneak peek of the game, but more importantly, it's a stress test on all of their servers, which I think is obviously what it needs to be. So I'm content with the amount of content that we're getting here, especially since it's only like the 19th for Xbox, the 23rd, so 5 days long, or 6, I guess, if you include both the days. But yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah. What do you guys think? Icano, I know you probably have an opinion on this. So what do you... Too much, not enough? What do you think?
Well, I think it's just fine. I mean, you know what I've been saying since day one that I wanted in the beta. I want patrol. But I'm happy with what's in there. What I don't like is the lack of time. I don't know why. I had it in my head that we were going to be able to play this for like a month. I don't know why I put that in my head. Like when they were like, beta comes out in July, I was like, cool, that'll get me all the way through like halfway of August, and then it's only a few more weeks until September 6th.
That's not how betas work, buddy.
I know, I don't know why, but I jammed it in my head that I'm gonna have like 4 weeks to play the beta. But yeah, this whole 19th through the 23rd that's not a whole lot of time. That's 5 days, one of which I'm gonna be busy, so yeah, the other 2 I think I'm working, so I don't know, man. I guess I wish I would have had more time, but I've also kind of feel like I've seen it all already. I'm not trying to be negative, I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but it's like
Lies.
Homecoming, it's like I feel like I've already played it because I've watched that so much. Like the strike, I can almost tell you what all the major sections of that strike are just from memory because I've watched that gameplay so much.
I think that's kind of a byproduct of the... I mean, it is definitely a byproduct of the content creator. Because I know for a while there, right after the the Destiny reveal event, all I was doing was using that footage in the background of my videos, and I was like, you know what, people are probably sick of this, and so I started switching it up and doing other things. But I think it just kind of makes sense. If you're talking about Destiny 2, you want to use Destiny 2 gameplay, and for those people who weren't able to record gameplay, the only in-game gameplay we have was that reveal and the 10 or 15 minutes that they spent in the campaign. So I think it's very much intrinsic of that. I agree that I've seen it all. That's the thing. I don't know if I will. Well, I guess I kind of will, because we know there will be some sort of progression, and we'll want to get some engrams and stuff to try out, new weapons and such not. So I guess I'll probably do it a couple times, but I think the big thing for me is going to be in Crucible, because a Crucible experience is never the same over and over again. So
Yeah, you totally totally took what I was gonna say, because I'm planning on not playing the single player part or the PvE part that much, because I just don't want to get tired of the content. But
I
do
encourage
plan on
everyone to try the Strike.
Yes,
even if
of
you've already
course.
seen it, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
So-
no, I'm gonna play it all at least once, and if other people, my friends list want to play it, that type of thing. But
Yeah.
I'm mostly going to be digging in on the multiplayer, especially trying out different guns. I might play a little bit of I'll play the single player first, or the PvE part first, just to get some weapons to use, and then I don't know if they might just go with a set.
No, they
amount of
said
weapon.
engrams are going to be dropping.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So it'll be. I'm probably gonna spend most of my time there, just seeing how it feels, because that's what I want to get, is the feeling of Crucible if I'm gonna play more of it.
I just want to
Destiny 2 than
I
did
just want to go back and clarify. They did say loot was going to, not engrams, because we won't have access to the farm, so we won't have any way to
Yes.
do it. But
So they'll decrypt
green,
automatically.
yeah,
Yeah.
green and white weapons will be dropping, I guess, that don't require a crypt art.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. Sorry, didn't mean to cut off. I just wanted to clarify.
No,
before.
not a problem. Yeah, that's pretty much all I was gonna say. Do you want to know the Bungie Day stuff? Right. We want to go back to that?
Oh yeah. Okay, so this is the Bungie.
So-
I was like, what the hell are you talking about? This is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Bungie's Day stuff that they've done for Halo. So yeah.
Yes. So this goes up through 2011. It looks like. So in 2007, they on the Xbox Live Marketplace, they gave you a gamer pick, a dashboard theme for free. They gave you a free map for Halo 2.
Oh jeez.
It was cold storage, it looks like. And then they made the Blastacular map pack free. That was, one of the paid map packs. And then, that's actually a lot of stuff.
Man, we got 17%
2007.
off. What is this
Yeah.
garbage?
And then 2008, another picture and dashboard theme for Halo 3.
Oh, that was
no,
only
sorry,
1 year?
Yes, that was 2007. 2008, they released cold storage. I'm sorry. And then they reduced the price of the legendary map pack, but they gave you cold storage for free. And then 2009, version of the seventh, where players were able to get recon armor. The playlist was 4v4 on community-made maps. So community-made maps, and you had the chance to get recon armor. Because remember, recon armor in Halo 3 was really difficult to get.
I didn't play.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Yeah,
Chris. I got you.
Yeah,
I
it
remember.
took me forever to grind that recon armor out, because I think you had to get all the skulls, or most of the skulls,
Yes.
if I remember right.
Yep.
So people were able to get that without getting all the skulls. And then 2010, Red vs. Blue released a episode with the Halo Reach remake of the Blood Gulch map that day on Bungie Day. And then it looks like 2011. You had to the community turn on the internal flaming helmet on the
Yeah,
Bungie nameplate.
that's what I said. The Nightfall skull, or
Yep,
the
so
Nightfall buff. Yeah.
Those are so they actually did quite a bit on Bungie Day, more than I even remember, because I remember some getting some stuff with Halo 2 and a little bit of stuff with Halo 3, but I didn't remember how much. That's actually quite a bit of stuff that they gave out and discounted.
I don't think they really have done anything for Destiny though.
No, not really, honestly. Like, I don't think it's as big of a deal as it used to be to them for some reason. I don't know.
Maybe they're just since they're always making that point that they're not in a position to be just like cranking out content all the time, or they weren't for Destiny 1. Maybe they just didn't have the ability to, but now that they're partnered with High Noon and Vicarious, I think maybe we'll start getting stuff like that. Who knows? Seems like it'd be pretty cool.
And it sounds like being partnered with them is similar to what Borderlands, like we talked about last week, Borderlands did with 2K Montreal, was it? Or 2K, Australia did some of their DLCs.
That turned out well. I would say let's stay away from that comparison. All right.
Well, but like these are high end teams with
Yeah.
So like,
for anyone who does not know or did not tune in last week, 2K Australia was the Wii team on Borderlands the pre-sequel, and Borderlands the pre-sequel did so poorly that 2K Australia got shut down. So we're trying to stay away from that happening in Destiny, obviously. Man, but yeah, so, you know, Bungie Day, it's a cool thing. I'm thinking in the future we'll start getting more stuff for it. I think at this point also Destiny has a way larger community than like Halo, like in terms of like content creators and stuff, just because it's more prevalent in our society. So I'm pretty sure Bungie's like, they'll do the work for us most of the time. So that kind of makes sense, I guess. But hopefully we can start to see more stuff. Yeah, but back to the beta. That's a lot of stuff. I'm excited for Sentinel. So for the Destiny beta, were you only allowed one character, or were you allowed to make one of each?
I don't remember. I think I only had one, if I remember. But that's, you know, I only had time for one. You know, 'cause it was like 3 days or whatever.
I don't think that there was anything prohibiting you from doing it, but it was per account. So you would have had to you would have had to delete that character once you were done with it. So you went in, you made like I remember I made a warlock. I made it a warlock for the beta. I got her to level 8, and then I didn't really want to do it anymore, so I just walked away from it. And then I guess I theoretically could have just deleted that whole thing and then made a hunter and done it all over again.
But you can't have 3 separate characters.
No.
Okay.
So yeah, like basically what I would do for anybody who's going to be playing the Destiny 2 beta, I would recommend
Assuming it's the same.
Assuming it's the same, I would recommend that if you have a main on Destiny 1, like I don't have a main. Like I consider my Hunter and my Titan both equal. They're both my mains. I don't like playing my Warlock now. So I'm going to flip a coin for Destiny 2.
It's justified.
I'm going to flip a coin, and honestly, it'll probably end up being my Titan because I want to play Sentinel.
Doesn't sound like a very fair coin toss.
Well, I don't know, because it's like the more I'm
it's like while it's in the air,
he's
like whatever it lands on means Sentinel Titan.
Well, it's like
it means head Sentinel, tail Sentinel. We got it.
If it lands perfectly on the edge, I'll make an Arc Strider.
I feel like Pole Dancer is mainly going to be for PvP, and I don't play PvP, so I feel like I'd be wasting my time playing Pole Dancer in PvE strikes and stuff. Whereas Sentinel looks like it's going to be good for just about everything. So yeah. I definitely want to give that a test drive.
I actually that's something I didn't bring up. I would like to give props to Bungie for including a competitive playlist countdown as well as a casual one, Control in the beta. I think that was a really smart move as well.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how Control feels 4v4.
According to IGN, it's faster.
Yeah, which doesn't make sense with the higher time to kills. And
I guess smaller maps.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I can think of.
Which I hope that they really take a look at spawning if they're gonna be small maps with Control.
With faster, exactly.
Yeah,
I feel that. I just want to address a question in chat. Shotgun Diplomat just asked if Sentinel was a new Titan subclass or something. Where have you been for the last 2 months? Yeah. That's the Captain America shield one. I thought we covered all this.
just asking. You good, bro?
Yeah. You doing all right? But yeah, yes, Sentinel, and I'm excited. I love my Hunter, but I'm just I've seen Arc Strider gameplay. I've played Dawnblade, and I have not seen anything for Sentinel, and that's something I'm very, very interested in seeing and playing as. So I think I might do that one, but I'll probably I'll probably do the coin toss that Icono's doing, but like slanted towards the Hunter. I'll be like, Sentinel sounds pretty cool. If it lands on the edge, I'll give Sentinel a chance, kind of thing. But
at least we'll have all 3 classes represented, because I'm going Warlock.
Oh yeah, so. Warlock. That's a really good point. We could do like a live episode. That would be episode 26, I believe. Yeah, it would. Mm-hmm. We could do like a live episode of The Last Word, but it's just us hanging out playing the beta for a bit, talking about it.
Yeah.
All right, then it's official then. I will be on my Titan then. I'll show everybody my sweet Sentinel skills.
Oh, wait.
It's official.
Is this a good idea?
Official.
Should we give the guy who is more likely to jump off of a map than to get...
No, we were wiping, remember?
Yeah.
We're fine.
Hey, man. If there's anything that Captain America knows how to do, it's wipe. That's how he became Captain America. Nailed it.
That's fair, man.
That's what he did. That ship with the Tesseract in the back seat. He was like, "Are we wiping?"
I would not say pole dancers are very good at wiping, but jeez. So yeah, that's all the beta stuff. That's pretty much it. Anything else to say on that? Or I mean, there's not really too much.
Nope.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward what it's all going to be, and I think they're giving a good look of most aspects, other than
the
Patrol.
emblem. We get the emblem.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. I actually like that, dude. It's Earth with an Aurora Borealis. I think that's hella cool, actually. That's a lot cooler than the Destiny 1 beta one. It's cool for what it is, but it's very bland, you know? So I'm pretty excited for that. But yeah, that's the beta. And the next thing I really wanted to talk about for this one, another discussion, but it's not. I think everyone's going to be pretty much on the same side. The new social space, the farm. I actually, after I was done watching IGN's kind of, run through with it, I found myself a lot more excited for it than I originally thought I was going to be. It's really fleshed out, at least in my opinion. So, what just going out of it, Jay-Z, you haven't had a chance to answer first yet, so this can be yours. Just initially, I don't know what the first news you heard about it was, but as soon as you found out about it and you found out about all the details, how were you feeling about it?
I mean, I was excited. It was social space. When I heard the player count, it can lead to some more interesting things. Obviously, soccer looked pretty cool. But yeah, it's a social space, so I don't think it's going to be other than a few activities and that. But when I heard about the actual modifiers that you can equip in the farm, I thought that's kind of cool because it gives players something even more of a proverbial carrot on a stick.
Oh, dude, you took Icono's thunder. What are you doing?
No, I TM'd it, and it's okay. I TM'd them in it. But it gives players some. Yeah, well, sorry. Yeah. But rabbits will have that too on gimmick infringement.
Man.
But it gives players something to actually unlock for a social space, which I don't remember ever having a social space in a game that I can think of with things unlocked. I didn't play World of Warcraft. I don't know if anything like that happened in it. I think Icono did, so you can probably speak on that. But I don't think that I've ever had a social space where you could unlock special modifiers in it. So.
And they made it sound like you'll have to re-unlock them and stuff, which is cool.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I'm calling it right now. So in that footage, you can see these small little they're kind of like Shanks, but they're bigger drones flying around. They're carrying packages. I guarantee, I will put money on it right now. That's the first thing I'm going to check out whenever we go in there in the beta. That you can jump on one of them, and when it leaves, it'll carry you to a secret spot where you can activate one of the secret modifiers. Because the one that they showed landed right next to, conveniently, a little shelf that was the same height as it. So I'm thinking you jump on the shelf, you jump over to this shank thing, it carries you over, you get one of the modifiers. Calling it.
Wow. That sounds tough. That sounds harder than the Iron Mountain. Because at least with the mountain, it was stationary. Getting
well, it was landing. It was landing and dropping tough. A package. It wasn't it didn't fly by there. But yeah. I think it'll be pretty easy. Look, man, all I'm saying is if I'm right, you'll have all the help you need because there will be a nice tutorial over on Scaro9's channel. He's an awesome guy on YouTube.
Oh boy. Wow.
No,
bro, if people are watching this, they're already on your channel. You don't have to self-promote that.
There's never enough self-promo.
All right, so here's my answer. I know you didn't ask me yet, but I'm going to answer it anyways.
Well played.
I'm going to answer by posing a question.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna open this up for people to speculate and to think about this.
Wait, can I answer first, or does Jay-Z get to answer first?
I'll let Jay-Z answer first. I want you to go last, Scaro.
Okay.
Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? The one thing that I noticed is it's definitely lacking in this social space. Towers. Not towers. Vaults.
Okay.
No, they confirm vaults. IGN confirm vaults.
But where were they? I didn't see them.
I was gonna point them out in my video, but I didn't because I thought everyone saw them.
Where?
There's right next to the broken fountain in the center. There's little kiosks that looks like they're the vaults.
I guess I was too busy looking at the big shard in the background to see that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and look at that.
The
'cause
beautiful,
Yeah, I'll show you a
chart.
picture. They panned over it. They're not orange. They're blue. They're
I
like
went
the.
out of my way to look for these things. I wanted to know where the vaults were and what they look like.
No,
Because one of my theories is that we're finally going to have vaults in space.
Actually, look, I can probably put it. I think I could probably put it on screen right now.
Icano, we do have vaults in space. It's called DIM.
Dim.
Hey, that's the T-shirt I'm wearing right now. Of course, I'm not on camera, so you can't see it. But I am wearing my Destiny Item Manager T-shirt right now.
Farm. 1 second. I'm gonna put a picture of this up on stream real quick. I think I actually took one, right? Yeah, because vaults. Yep, I took a picture and I was gonna use it in my video and I didn't. There we go. Full picture right there, right ahead of the Guardian. I'm like 90% sure that's the new vaults because it has like the little logo on it and stuff. I'm pretty sure that's the vault. Do you see it? We good? Can I get it?
Yeah, I see it.
Oh,
it's a kiosk for sure. Yeah.
It's definitely a kiosk, but
that's a different vault because it's not like the vaults. Well, no, because there's one to the right on the other side. If you see.
Yeah, and there's definitely one over to the left as well.
Yeah, so I mean that would make sense because you want more than one, obviously, because 26 players can't stand around one and still fit in that space.
And that's why they would spread them around like that. And I think they got a redesign because they're blue instead of orange. They're right there in the center, which is a great place for a vault. I should have made a video on it. God dang it. But Destin, in his little thing, he clarified that there are new vaults in there, but they just didn't show them off. But I'm fairly confident that's those. But one thing I did not see that I'll give Icano credit for is collections. So we don't know if those, are going to be returning. So, but yeah, so I'm pretty sure those are the vaults. People in chat can let me know what they think. If you're watching later on YouTube, tell me down in the comments. But I'm like 90% sure those are going to be the vaults, though. I guess we'll find out the 23rd. Yeah, because
they're too evenly spaced out to not. Honestly. Yeah. Like if it was just one kiosk, I don't think it would be the vault. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. But that's trying to get some.
Yeah, I was hoping. I was trying to get some
speculation going there, but guess not.
Sorry, man.
That actually kind of makes me upset because what I was hoping is that there wouldn't be a vault system at all. That your character would be a vault. Like, this is the future, right? And everything, we can make a sparrow appear out of midair. Like, just you bring up your ghost and a sparrow just comes out of nowhere. So what I was thinking is, why can't we just, like, I don't know, like, digitize all the guns that we find and then, like, throw them away and then, like, you digitize them when you need them. Like, that your vault would be, like, you're on your character whenever you want. There would be no need for like a vault, and it would be unlimited space basically, and then they could go crazy with that, and it would offer like a lot of I mean it would work in the lore too, it would work.
I just don't know, man. Maybe, but it's
just so annoying. It's like why make us do all this running around when it's the far future. It works in the lore. Like,
man, it's got to be like a RAM thing, like
people are always saying like vaults in space. I'm thinking that's too short-sighted. Don't just do vaults in space. How about vaults everywhere? And with the whole like freezing your inventory thing that we're going to talk about later, they would help with that too. Because if they don't want you going into your vault for the raid, they could just freeze your inventory and then boom, you're stuck with the 3 things that you've got on now.
I just don't know. I feel like that would take up a lot of server space. I feel like they know that would put like a lot of people at DIM and stuff pretty much out of jobs. I just don't think that would work very well. I mean, obviously I don't work at Bungie. I don't know their reasoning. I'm fine, especially with third-party apps. I can't remember the last time I've actually like gone into my vault and looked. But the one thing I was more concerned about, like I said, I didn't see any collections. So does that mean that shaders and emblems are going to take up vault space now? Or are we going to have a little infinite space for those? Once we collect them, we have them always?
That's another thing that they could just put in their
December
menu.
Feature. That's,
Yeah, I think it would make sense. Like, to me, it does not make sense that we have to go pick emotes up. Just because, like, that's not like an equipable thing. Like, we don't get like a little memory disc and slide it in our left nipple and then we learn how to do a dance.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you forget to do it every time you trash it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to do this anymore. Yeah. It's gone.
Yeah, exactly. So, oh man. So that shaders doesn't really make sense. Shaders as a whole don't really make sense to me, but like the concept? Like, how would that even work? Do you just carry around like a bucket of paint and you just paint yourself, or what?
It's nano coloring.
Oh, is it? We
Yeah,
took
it's-
Siva, and what did we do with it? We
Yeah, Siva confirmed Destiny 1 launch.
we
day.
made
Boom.
ourselves
There you go.
pretty. Oh goodness.
Put that in the lore and smoke it.
But yeah, so I'm pretty sure those are the vaults though. But yeah, the social space flares was a good point. The thing I was really liking about the farm was that it feels so much more alive and moving and everything. There's so many things, like the ships, they come and go from the middle now. Like you get transmatted in and out of the middle of the area. There's chickens moving around, which Zessia made a really good point. Mother chickens is like my thing, and I didn't do that in that video, and I should have, but as I told him, I have a couple things that I feel like would be good ideas for once Destiny actually launches, and I can do a couple like funny videos with that. More on that later. But you know how perfect is it? I say mother chickens. We're in a freaking farm. They could have added any animal. It's totally a Scarrow 9 reference. All right.
I'm sure it's not a Legend of Zelda
I think they're
reference?
probably just really big fans of Zelda, dude. But okay,
Yeah,
you can have it.
Boom. Called it.
Are you telling me you're gonna be able to pick up these chickens and fly?
That'd
No,
be
like-
sweet if you could.
That actually, you know what? Maybe that's one of the flares, right?
Yeah, like there's like a
Flying
pen,
chickens.
and all the chickens are like loose, and you have to go put all the chickens in a pen, and if you do, you can fly for like 20
That would
seconds
be
or
cool.
something.
I was thinking more of there's a hidden weapon somewhere, like a hidden sword of Crota or something, and if you swing at the swords enough times, the chickens attack you, and if you survive, you can then pick them up and fly around. There you go.
All right, I like it.
That was always the most terrifying part of Zelda, is when you were rolling and you accidentally hit a chicken and then you just got swarmed by like 15 of them. That was terrifying, man. Those things could kill you faster than any boss.
I think that was the point.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, maybe I'm saying it's a Scarrow 9 reference, but whatever. You guys want to be haters? Be haters.
I'm just like, Zelda's older than you are, man. So we're just,
That's a good point. Yeah, Savage Sadistic says, "Can I kill a chicken to summon a flock of death?" Can you imagine if there was an Easter egg like that? We could take a chicken into the raid. And it was
Chicken
like
launcher.
Yeah.
I'm calling it a rocket launcher that shoots
That
chickens.
would be awesome.
Calling it.
An ornament for the freaking dubious volley that just shoots
Yeah.
chickens.
Hey, one of the most broken abilities in Diablo 3 is the Witch Doctor can turn himself into a chicken to run super fast and avoid all the enemies on the screen. So, hey man, if Diablo 3 could use chickens in that manner, why can't Destiny?
There you go.
All right.
Maybe
Yeah.
we can. Calling it year 4 chicken subclass confirmed.
Chicken subclass. That's great.
You throw eggs at people? Is that the super? I mean, what?
No, you don't throw. You lay eggs at people.
No.
You just turn around and you just shoot it like. Pew, pew, pew. Oh goodness, you guys are
rated
weird.
Rated M for mature.
Yeah, you say like all sorts of like really funny stuff like.
Go collect yourself.
Go collect yourself. You just got bocked up. Oh man, stuff like that. I think that'd be really good. Oh goodness. But really, that's pretty much it for the social space too. I was glad. One thing I was really happy with is that the soccer is actually scored, and I'm not really happy with that for that fact. I'm happy with it because it means they're paying attention to really small details in Destiny 2. And if they're doing something as trivial as that, I have high hopes for the rest of the game being very finely smoothed out and stuff. So I'm pretty excited for it.
Agreed.
Yeah, all this stuff is getting me really excited. But if that's all we have to say on the social space... oh, wait, one more. What's up with Tyra Karn being there and not Rahul?
Yes.
Literally
I was gonna say something about that.
Literally after Luke Smith confirms that he's returning. What is that?
And that was like days later. Like Luke Smith just did that interview talking about Master Rahul coming back. 2 days later, we find out that Tyra's the Cryptarch in there. So that means I think that there's going to be another social space, and that Rahul's the, or that Rahul's like a major part of the story. Like we have to go rescue him, kind of like how we have to rescue Cade 6 and everybody. I bet we have to go rescue him, and it's gonna probably like piss off the whole community. Like I gotta go save this guy. He used to turn my
That would be
blues
awesome.
into greens, you know. So like I don't know. I figured that would be a cool way of Bungie trolling us as the community. Is like, you know, you got to go save the guy that used to screw you on loot.
So
I think it's raid boss confirmed, actually. So, is what I'm
that
thinking.
would be awesome. So my two theories. So just immediately, Luke Smith seemed pretty adamant in the fact that he only wanted one social space, just so they didn't separate the community and that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty sure there's only going to be one. But so we know that we have kind of point of view characters for every planet that we talk to, and they're kind of like our main mission givers. So like Failsafe is for Nessus. We have what's his name, Davian or whatever for Earth. But the people that really lead us on missions and stuff. So either I was thinking he could be the one for Io, since I presume he's a warlock, and that kind of stuff. Or he's just like another like insignificant part of the story at some point. Or him and Tyra switch back and forth. Or he's just gone and Luke Smith accidentally said something that wasn't true. There you go. Did you guys read? Okay, so I don't know if Jay-Z did. Icono, did you read the Reddit post about that? Rahul's last day or whatever?
No, I've been off Reddit for the past few days.
What was it? Was so good. So it was like so it was from the perspective of Rahul actually dying in the tower. And it was like Gary finds him and he was like, I need your services. I have this blue thing. I'll kill you if you don't help me. And then Rahul's like, I'm not proud of this. Kate 6 taught me this move. And then so Rahul flips him off and then decodes the blue engram into a green and then just stands up and gets ready to die as Gull punches him to death. But I think that would be a really cool cutscene as well. Obviously, my description wasn't as good as the actual story. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. If I can find it, I'll link it in the actual video once this is up on Monday. I highly encourage people to go read that because it was pretty funny, though. It was pretty good. But yeah, Rahul's gone. Might be back. Who knows? Tyra Karn is like my least favorite, though. I'd rather have Master Ives back because Master Ives always like trash talking people. If you just stand next to him, it's pretty funny. So, yeah, is that it for Social Space? Did I miss anything?
Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, that's it. I mean, I don't think there's anything else going on in there.
Okay. So just the rest of this episode is going to be talking about other IGN info that includes the lock loadouts, but it's just kind of all of it. So first off, we know the Iron Temple is coming back, at least for one mission, because we see the Speaker's Machine, and I always forget the name of it. It has a specific name. But we see the one that is in Iron Temple. We see a Guardian kind of look at it during the IGN interview, and if you look at it side by side, it is, in fact, the Iron Temple one. So we know that we're going back to Iron Temple, which would be pretty cool. I think it would be cool to help like Ephrodite and Tyra Karn like escape, and then have like lead them to the social space at the farm or whatever. I think that'd be pretty cool. So that's that. We know there's going to be a lot of missions and a lot of stuff to do. The patrol maps look huge compared to what they are in Destiny 1, which is pretty interesting. But the really big piece of info that I know I kind of wanted to talk about, and that everyone seems to have differing opinions on, really, locked loadouts. So Luke Smith said, quote, "The difficulty of the game, certainly at the pinnacle of it, we have tried to make a much tougher game. For some of the activities, you are going to be loadout locked." So if you guys don't know what that means, in those certain activities that he did not specify, so we don't know which activities these are going to be, but in specific activities, once you fly in with a loadout, you will not be able to change your weapons and armor for the duration of that activity. And so the one example I brought up that I really liked this in was Trials of Osiris. You know, there's a lot of exploits that center around switching weapons and that sort of stuff. So I really think that this will be implemented in the Trials of the Nine in Destiny 2. Also, so your teammates, like, you load in, you have to be good with what you have. Like, you can't just, like, if you see your team sniping, or the other team sniping, you can't just throw on shotguns and rush them. You actually have to, like, plan and be good with it beforehand. So I like that. But, Jay-Z, no, we started with Jay-Z last time. Let's go Icono. What activities do you think they're going to put locked loadouts on? and why or why not do you like it?
All right. Well, I think that it's probably going to be put in Trials of the Nine.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be a modifier in challenge modes of the raid. So I don't think it's going to be the raid. I don't think it's going to be the heroic raid, but it's probably going to be a challenge mode or something where there's a new modifier in like the weekly raid playlist where it's like you can't change your gear. Because that seems really challenging, dude. Because if you're talking a raid with 4 different encounters, all 4 of which will be completely different. You know, I mean, look at Crota, for instance. You know, in Crota, you want to have Gjallarhorn for Crota, right? But you don't necessarily want to have Gjallarhorn in the maze. You want to have, you know, a sword on so you can get through the maze relatively quickly through all the thralls and everything.
Yeah, and sword for Deathsinger as well.
Right. So I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to do that, to force people into that for every raid. But it could be a pretty sweet challenge mode because that would force not force, but that it would help people to put together teams where it's like, okay, you 3 are going to be the Gjallarhorns, you 3 are going to be the swords, and then that way you coordinate that stuff ahead of time. Mm-hmm. That's actually pretty sweet. So that's what I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a very difficult challenge version of the raid and trials, and then probably it's going to be used in something else that we don't even know it exists yet, like whatever the Prison of Elders equivalent will be, like something like that.
Hopefully nothing.
Well, not like I said, equivalent, not the same thing. I'm with you. I hope Prison of Elders doesn't come back, but maybe something like that. Do I like it? Honestly, fundamentally, no. I get why people are saying that it's kind of cool and it limits it, so it makes it challenging and things like that. But this is the same mentality that I have with a lot of philosophies that Bungie has. Bungie has this thing where, well, I don't know if I don't know if we have any year 1 people in here, but we had a thing called Trickle that used to be in this game. And I fundamentally hated Trickle.
No, Trickle's still in here. Right?
Where?
I think it's the night.
We've had it in Nightfalls before.
Yeah, I think it's the Nightfall this week.
Rogue Strikes had it, yeah.
Seriously?
It's been in the game since year 1.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, wow.
Because he used to be in prison.
I thought that was one of the things that went away.
No, man.
Like Light Switch went away. I know that for sure. Okay, well, fine. All right, so it's still around, so that's even worse. But one of my biggest complaints with Bungie's philosophy is that Bungie, and you know, like what my common thing that I always say on this podcast is that I'm always getting on Bungie because I think they're lazy. Well, here's another example. Let's put a bunch of people in a room and let's find out how we can make this game hard. Okay, well, they've got a Guardian with space magic, so here, why don't we just take all the space magic away? And it's like, that's not good, man. That's not good game balance, in my opinion.
To that, I would just like to point out that sometimes, I mean, not every time the simplest, every time they choose the simplest answer doesn't mean that they were being lazy. Like, it's gonna, have you ever heard of Occam's Razor? Not the shotgun, the principle.
Yes, yeah, and that's a very poorly interpreted thing. That's basically what it says. What people think it says is that the quickest answer is usually the most.
No, the simplest.
The simplest answer
is usually the best
usually
answer.
Correct. And that's actually not true. If you actually look into it, that's not what it's actually trying to say. But yeah, I get it. I mean, that's all well and good. But I've noticed this a lot with Bungie. It's like, their idea of making things hard is taking away abilities and making cooldowns longer, and that to me is not good game design.
What would you have done?
That's not necessarily making something more difficult. That's just making it less fun for the gamer. You give me all these abilities, you give me all this sweet loot, all this sweet gear, and all this sweet stuff, and then you try to limit me from using it, and that's your idea of game design.
Oh,
so
actually, that's a good question. Actually, will your subclasses be locked in that?
Oh yeah, what I was getting out of it is that you basically can't even go in your menu. Is the way I was getting out of it. Like, you can't use items. You probably can't go into your.
No, you'll be able to use items.
I bet you could use.
You'll be able to use sense and stuff. You have to be able to. Yeah.
But so I don't know. My takeaway from it is that it's just another example of Bungie's philosophy of okay, let's make it harder for them by forcing them into a loadout the entire time.
How would you have fixed it? How would you have done it?
Well, here's the thing. I don't even know what they're doing it for yet. So I don't know. I don't know if they're doing it for raids. I don't know if they're doing it for Trials of the Nine. Now, if you're asking me what I would have done differently, again, is instead of trickle
to make it more difficult. No, just like if you were a designer, and I understand you're not. So if you don't have an idea right off the bat, I understand that because I couldn't tell you right now. But if you had to pick one way that you saw was better than locking loadouts to make the game more difficult, but also without restricting fun, how would you do it?
put in environmental hazards. Add things.
Just explosions everywhere?
Well, that's what Diablo 3 does. I mean, Diablo 3 just adds, stuff to the ground that you can't run on. That's how they make that's how they make their enemies more difficult, like the elite mobs. The elite mobs are more difficult because they do things like putting you in they put walls around you so you can't run around that much. You can still use all your abilities, but they make it more difficult for you to move around.
That's almost doing the same thing though. That's restricting your mobility. That's the same thing as restricting your supers pretty much, and it's just a different way of doing it.
Mobility is one thing, but my thing is if I grind 2,000 hours to play with a Gjallarhorn, and I grind 2,000 hours to play with a Sleeper Simulant, and you tell me that I'm going into this raid and I gotta choose which one I'm using, then what the hell did I grind for both of them for? I guess my thing is don't make a game that's a looter shooter, which they're already kind of telling us that it's not because they're already locking our roles to each gun, but that's another discussion. But you don't tell me that this is a looter shooter and you want me to get all the loot and get all the guns and get all the good stuff, but then tell me, okay, but if you want to go into this activity, you can only use 3 of them. That's ridiculous.
If that was for every activity, I would agree, but I don't agree because it's not. Does that make sense? Like if I would say your argument, the same argument you're making right now, could be said for we're only allowed to use one exotic at a time. We grind for all these different exotics, but we're restricted to only using one at a time. So the thing that you're saying right now could be applied to that, but I wouldn't agree with that, of course. But I'm just saying, like, to make it more difficult, I'm fine with that. And on the topic of adding more environmental hazards, I hear, damn it, I got killed by the architects way too much as it is. All right? I don't need more of that in my life. So, yeah, that's that. What do you think, Jay-Z?
So, I'm guessing it's going to be on your hardest activities. Obviously, Trials of the Nine. I think that's genius. That was one of my biggest problems with Trials is like, and switching weapons to compensate or to counter is a good strategy and a cool strategy and sometimes fun, but to completely put on trash weapons just to like this gives you and not an advantage, but it allows you to see what the other people have on their loadouts. It allows you to know what playstyle you want to play as a team prior to it, because before people would just put on whatever weapon, green weapons, blue weapons, just to joke around, and then they'd switch to whatever they wanted. So then you'd have to wait till the end of the first round to see what they were using. Then halfway through the match, they'd switch to truth. So this, the reason that they nerfed the truth, this kind of takes that away, because either you start with the truth. Oh yeah, that's a good
point too.
Yeah. So either you start with the equivalent of the truth, or you don't get to put it on, midway on heavy round. So I think that's a great change. I played a lot of year 1 trials, and a decent amount of year 3, and but this makes it because I pretty much kept my loadout. Like I'd make a few changes here and there based on how the team was playing and how I was doing. Say I wasn't sniping very well. Sometimes I'd throw on a sidearm or a fusion rifle or something like that. But for the most part, I kept my weapons pretty, I always ran with the weapons I wanted to run with.
Yeah.
And so like that doesn't affect me much, but it'll affect me more because I'll be able to strategize with the team prior to the round of what we need to do, where we need to post up or where we need to defend, whatever the case may be. So I enjoy that, especially if we can't change subclasses. Because people would do that as well. They would use their super on one, then switch to another.
Oh yeah.
Things like that. So like that, it helps with that as well. Depending, and I've called it when we were talking about the raid. I don't think there's just going to be two difficulties in a challenge mode. Like Icano kind of brushed on it a little bit. You know, I think there's going to be three or more difficulties, and I think one of the difficulties is going to be this type of game mode where you can't change your weapons. And
Okay.
I'm not necessarily saying it'll give better rewards, but it'll be a better challenge to teams like ours. Like, we enjoy the challenge. I enjoy the challenge. The
Yeah.
raids. I enjoy, some of them. Like, once you play them a much, they become too easy. So restricting your loadouts in a raid, like activity, end game like activity, will make it so we have to coordinate more as a team. And to me, that'll be fun. Not necessarily. I mean, I care about the loot. That's the reason I keep coming back and playing. But like, they don't necessarily have to give you way better loot than hard mode raid or extreme mode raid or whatever. Yeah. So like, I'm gonna enjoy it. Like, you don't have to play it if you don't like it. Like, if that's what they're gonna do with it, because I don't think they're gonna do it on missions. They're probably not gonna do it on normal mode raid. They're probably not gonna do it on strikes, things like that. So like, you can still switch your weapons, test out weapons, have fun with weapons, things like that. And you get to your really, really hard in-game activities, and you may have your loadouts locked. And my knee-jerk reaction when I first heard that, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And then like, I thought about it. I'm like, no, that's actually really good, especially for some of the end-game Crucible things, and even like adding a different mode in the raid to do it. So
I think I like that. I'm not sure if they'll have so many different modes in the raid. I'm just trying to, in these situations, what I do, I try to put myself in Bungie's shoes, and I try to imagine I have so many resources as they do, and I try to do that. And I think if I was in Luke Smith's shoes, what I would do, locked loadouts would be in the Trials of the Osiris and the Nightfall, and I think that's
Nightfall,
maybe the hard mode raid, but I just don't. I see that being too restricting. I think it goes. They definitely want to avoid the reaction that kind of like Icano had, but obviously, with the Nightfall, I think one of the biggest complaints I've heard with the Nightfall is people actually preferred it when it did kick you to orbit. So I think they're going to keep it where it doesn't kick you to orbit, but they're going to make it more difficult because you won't be able to switch your weapons. Just add that. But I think those two right now are the only two really activities I can sort of justify to myself adding that to.
Yeah, so, and they obviously there's going to be activities added that we don't know about, or
that's a good point as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the future expansions might have stuff that will be useful on as well. So I mean, having the ability, I mean, I guess they probably had the ability to do it in Destiny 1, but them coming up front and being upfront about it in Destiny 2 makes it so they can add it to other things, and it's not as big of a deal because we're used to it in activities that we already played. So
yeah. All right. Well, I think that is it. So Zesia said, I feel like all competitive / ranked PvP playlists should have locked loadouts. I like that as well, actually.
You like every playlist?
Every competitive.
Ranked?
So you know how they have the casual, the quick play playlist, and the competitive.
Yeah.
And so competitive has Countdown, and it has one extra secret mode that we don't know about yet, and it also has Trials of the Nine, unless the secret mode is Trials of the Nine. I like that idea, actually. Because I think a big part of being a competitive player is knowing your loadout and being good with it regardless. And I think if you're just playing rock paper scissors with weapons the entire time, it's not as skilled as if you're having to outshoot snipers with like a hand cannon or something.
And if you think about Destiny, or not Destiny, Halo, which was obviously their previous franchise, like weapons were strewn throughout the map. Well, I guess Halo 4 you could customize your loadout a little bit, but you only had 10 primaries, 12 primaries that you could choose from. So like, this makes it more like you can see the loadouts beforehand, so you can pick your loadout to match the players that you're facing against. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I like that. That was a good idea, Zess. Yeah. Beetle Eagle said, Savage, good idea. It could be some sort of weekly modifier for Nightfalls or raids. Yeah, that's what Icano was hitting on. I think all Nightfalls are going to have them. That's just that's what I would do if I was Bungie. We'll see, though, for sure. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for all the IGN info. Did I miss anything really, or are we good to go into like actual community feedback?
Not from what I read. No.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there was a lot that happened this week. I don't know
Yeah,
if we're
there's
gonna
a
get to
lot.
everything.
I mean, if there's some other stuff that we forget, then I will move it over to next week. But I think that's pretty much all the big stuff. So I'm gonna go back up to the top of comments. We've had a lot. Let's see. Oh man, I always do this. I need to keep all my stuff. Someone asked me something really good at the beginning of the stream, and I forgot what it was. Let me here 1 sec. Okay, well I'm gonna go into YouTube comments and do this. Think Jason was asking me, not you, Jay-Z. Jason in chat was asking me about if I thought the raid was going to be returning. Or excuse me, that was dumb. If the reef was going to be returning. It was if the queen was alive. That was the question. Is the queen alive, and is the raid going to be, or is the reef going to be returning? So, according to the Grimoire, there are hints that the queen is alive. And is the reef going to be returning as a social space? I don't think so. What do you think, Jay-Z and Icono?
I wouldn't see why it would. I mean, like, it wasn't a favorite place for people to go, and that like you had to go there for play trials, but like it was kind of a blah social space. Like the Iron Temple and the Tower, in my opinion, were much better social spaces. So
And
it's
it
I
has
think
a-
they kind of go ahead.
Well, I was going to say it has a lot of negative stigma to it too. I mean, when that social space was introduced to us, it was the first new social space, and it was supposed to be something sweet. But what came along with it was the lack of a raid and Prison of Elders and Skull Loss and basically all the things that we hated about Year 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, or I guess the back half of Year 1, I should say. But yeah, it's like I think that's what's part of it, is that people ended up hating it by proxy. I don't know if there's anything particularly wrong with it. It's just, guilty by association.
Yeah. That's not bad. I like that. So Shotgun says, I think Countdown is basically CSGO and Destiny. I'm not a CSGO player, so I don't know. It's Search and Destroy from Call of Duty is probably the closest thing I could relate it to, and I think I just found all my comments. Or not. Dude, why does YouTube get rid of comments? That's the dumbest thing ever. Okay, well, gonna have to go back, and in future episodes, I'm gonna have to start recording people's comments, because we're getting a lot of people into this. Let's see. What is your favorite chicken on a scale of 1 to 10? Mother chicken, 10.
Grilled chicken.
Grilled chicken?
I would give that a 9, and I would give fried chicken a very close 8.
I would give fried chicken like a 12, dude.
Yeah, fried chicken is so good, but like a perfectly cooked grilled chicken where it's nice and tender and seasoned well, dude. That's something special. So
yeah. Well, unfortunately, YouTube deleted all my comments, and that was that. So I lost all my.
How about ship shaders or possibility of ship shaders?
Oh, ship shaders! Yeah, man. I made a video on that. So I don't know if you guys agree with that. I want to see if you guys agree. All 4 of those ships were definitely the same ship, or they looked like it. And so my argument was, Destiny does reuse some of the same models for ships, sometimes. But if they were doing that in Destiny 2, I don't feel like they would advertise it like putting for the exact same ship in a clip, in a promo for IGN. I could be wrong, but that just seems like a terrible marketing move to me, being like, hey, we're reusing stuff, look at us. So, I don't know. Do you guys think that there's ship shaders? I was thinking it could be like a clan reward thing. What do you guys think?
Oh, you stole mine, and we didn't even talk about that. That's crazy that we're on the same page. What I was going to say is that not necessarily shaders, but things that you can add to your ship based on achievements that you've gotten in the game. And then clan stuff was one of them. Like if you're in a clan, and if your clan completes the Nightfall, completes the raid, and it completes everything, whatever, blah, 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 in a week, then everybody gets a new emblem or something that they can stamp on their ship or something. Because they've already said the ships are not going to be anything that you can play with. It's just purely cosmetic. Yeah. So And if you looked at those ships, they all looked like they had different colors, and they all had that hunter logo on the top of them. Why would a ship have a hunter logo on it?
Yeah.
So what I'm wondering is if like you get stamps or you get I don't know if shader is the best word, but paint jobs or something that you can apply to your ship based on things that you've earned in the game from your achievements. I think that would be a cool way, because let's say you're going to go play a raid with somebody for the first time, if you're like doing the guided games or something, and you join their fire team, and your ship flies into their screen, and it's just decked out. It's got laser beams, it's got strobe lights, it's got fog effects under the bumper.
Oh jeez, Icano.
Like let's just say let's say that your ship is just decked out. Everybody's gonna be like, damn, look at this guy. He's done everything in the game. His ship is decked. So like that could be like a way of like showing people like how sweet your stuff is or whatever.
Yeah. I can see that. I was thinking, we haven't heard about the weapon shader system, and I made a video a while back showing pretty strong evidence that there are weapon shaders as well. So maybe it's like you can equip certain, maybe like your shader now affects everything, your ship and your weapon and stuff, or maybe everything gets everything's personalized individually, like Icano said, or maybe it's a clan thing. If you're part of a clan, that's part of the rewards, is you can say, I want my ship to be my clan colors, or something like that, Which, if it is a clan thing, our clan's colors are going to be bright gold, like shiny gold, and black. Calling it right now, all right? Because that's awesome.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
That's my favorite color palette, pretty much.
Wait, maybe glow who blue, if that's an option. Because I'm a glow who sucker, man. So
fair enough, but so in Destiny 1, the ships were pretty much the same, like 15 models with different colors on them. So basically Bungie did that for us in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
So hopefully this, you actually get to customize some things on your ship, like Icano was pointing towards. That'd be,
I don't know if it's going to be that extent, but
no, not like not disco balls hanging from your ship, because obviously when you hit warp drive, those would fly off anyway.
Those would fly off. I feel like if you're trying to be stealthy and you fly into a Cabal base and you're just shooting straight strobe lights, yeah, I feel like that's probably not the best thing to have. But man.
Yeah, no, it'd be cool, because it differentiates your base. Say they have 20 different ships, and it differentiates your cool ship model from the next same cool ship model, because you've got different things going on with the same thing, same model. So it gives just more customization. So it's a good thing.
All right. I agree with that. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it seems like it would be easier for them to let us customize it than for them to like program each ship. I could be wrong. I guess I'm not a game developer. I don't know. But one last question I had for community feedback. I just remembered it. Someone asked a little bit earlier, what happened to the factions? Dead Orbit, New Monarchy, Future War Cult. So we know they are confirmed to be in Destiny 2. We've seen their armor. But in the farm, we didn't see any sign of them. So I'm guessing they're just going to be kind of hidden around the farm. They're not going to show them off too much yet. But I imagine factions are going to have a pretty big role in Destiny 2, especially after we beat Gaul and we get settled down. It's kind of like, I feel like it'll be a good time for the factions to be like, look, we tried to do the consensus. We tried to do things the Tower's way, the Vanguard's way, but that's not working. So our faction is the best. And I feel like, because if you look at it, in like real life, when someone else comes to power, it's right after a great tragedy. So I feel like that would be a good story aspect for like DLC 3 or something. Be really interested to see how that pans out. Yeah. Is that pretty much it?
Well, Zessie is saying that he wants a social space to be a giant space turtle. So we've had our carrot on the stick reference.
That's why Zessie is my favorite.
We've also had a giant space turtle reference. So both my reference and Scarrow's weekly reference have been used. Jay-Z, now that he is a permanent member on this podcast, I believe that he needs a catchphrase or a gimmick or something. You
That's
gotta
a good
have
point.
something.
I don't have one right off the top. It has to come naturally. Like it's got to be organic. You know.
It has to.
Yeah.
I'm just
That's his. It has to be organic.
It does.
Yeah.
It does have to be organic. All I'm saying.
Whole
is that,
Foods style.
Whole
Organic,
Foods.
you know?
That's his man.
You gotta commit to it though. You gotta own it. So whatever it is, if it's something ridiculous like a freaking carrot on a stick, you gotta stick with it week after week. Now, no matter how ridiculous it is. I mean, look at Scarrow with the space turtle. He is riding that space turtle hard.
No, he's definitely like beat that in the ground.
Dude,
Yeah.
what can I say? I'm a space turtle kind of guy. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think you really are. I just think now it's become a thing that you have to say. So
Hey, it works, man. Hey, I don't have to do anything.
Well,
I choose.
fact, but
yeah.
I think you choose to throw it in there because of Icano's reaction every week.
I will not confirm nor deny.
No, you just confirmed it right there.
But that's pretty much episode 24. Next week is our last episode before the beta, and then the week after that we should do a live episode, just messing around the beta, giving our thoughts on everything and seeing how we like everything. I'm pretty excited for this, man.
We should probably have a supersized podcast for the beta. I would say let's do the strike. Let's do the story mission. Let's do some Crucible. We should probably...
Okay, no, we can't do Crucible. We've tried this before, man. This is not going to work.
No, that'll be fun. I mean,
you can't talk while you're playing Crucible.
Sure, I can. And look, if we get a fourth person in here, if we get like Ratul or Josh or somebody in here that's better than me, then we got 3 good people and me. You guys can carry me all the way.
I am all for the story mission, and I'm all for the strike, and we can go from there, man.
Okay.
There's one more actually in chat. Jason Lopez, what do you think about the linear fusion rifles? I think it's a decent idea. I'll have to play with them. I didn't get a chance to. They were not at the reveal event. We'll see. I don't know. Are you guys excited for that or?
Well, Dado was playing with them and he was loving them. He said it's like the Queen Breaker's bow except it's easier to use and has more ammo. So he was loving it. He was saying that if you can time, and remember Dado's not a Crucible guy, and he was talking about on Countdown. If you went around the corner or whatever, and if you were pre-charging it before you like fully went around the corner, you could sneak around corners and just instantly headshot people. And he said it's just as powerful as a sniper with headshots, except linear fusion rifles have more ammo.
Maybe. I don't know.
So theoretically, it's a better sniper rifle that you have to charge up, which kind of sounds an awful lot like the Queenbreaker's bow, which everybody likes the Queenbreaker. So,
or our favorite exotic.
Sleeper!
Oh, that's Sleeper, yeah. So, so I'm actually really looking forward to using it because Sleeper and Queenbreaker are 2 of my favorite guns in Destiny 1. So I'm actually really looking forward to getting my first drop.
I think that goes for me I've used submachine guns. I really like them. I didn't really get a chance to use grenade launchers, and I did not get a chance to use linear fusion rifles. And I think for both of those, it's pretty much the same thing. Like, I'm excited for them. I'm glad they're adding more diversity, but until I get my hands on them, I really don't have an opinion on them because I would be misinformed because I haven't played with them. I used a grenade launcher a little bit. It didn't seem that powerful, but once again, it was like 1 Crucible match, and I got heavy for it once, so who knows. Some people are suggesting a 24-hour beta stream. Do you know how boring that would get?
Yes.
There's like 3 activities you can do in the beta, guys.
Then we won't want to do the first mission in that strike when the game comes out.
Ever, yeah. It's a good... Maybe I would consider doing it for like... Oh, here we go. Here's a carrot on the stick for them. I would consider doing it for like 25,000 subs special. You know, maybe. Hint, wink. But we'll see. What?
What are you at right now? Like 5? You
6.
want 20? You want
I broke
6?
6.
You want 20 or 19,000 subs before the beta?
No, I didn't say that. No.
He's talking Destiny 2. Period.
Whenever we hit that, yeah.
Oh, then you'll do a 24-hour
They could get me
stream.
1 million subs by tomorrow, and I wouldn't do a 24-hour beta stream. I would be sick of the game. There's 3 activities.
Yeah, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I was suggesting 2 hours for our supersized podcast, but even that, God, I mean, maybe we could do 2 hours. Maybe we do our normal 1 hour of talking, talking about topics and like what's happening, and then the second hour we could use for the beta. Like go, and then we'll say,
we
oh,
could
you know,
also like kind of compare our guns because I'm sure we're gonna get because if they do what they did in the first beta, you got one blue gun, so we're all should be getting different blue guns, so we can kind of like show gameplay of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can do 6:30 to 7:30. We can just do Destiny 1, do strikes or weekly story, just like we always do. And then right when like we're done with our main topics, when it comes time for community feedback, we can talk to the community for an hour from 7:30 to 8:30 while we're playing the Destiny 2 beta.
Maybe we'll see.
That'd be cool. That'd be like a supersized, thing, and you'd probably get a bunch of people to show up for that too.
Maybe.
I like it.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I don't like planning that far. Like, I do like planning that far in advance, but I don't like planning that far in advance on live stream just in case something changes. You know? I don't want anything to be set in stone like this. So maybe we'll see. We'll see. But, oh, by the way, on screen right now, look what symbol is on the vaults in Destiny 1.
Okay, that's the same symbol that's on
the vaults that I showed you guys in Destiny 2.
Oh, I didn't notice the little symbol.
Yeah, look, I'll put it back on stream.
Look, you don't have to do that.
I'll do it. Man, but yeah, I think that's going to be the end of today's episode. So I've been Scarra9. You can find me at Scarra9 on Twitter and Scarra9 on YouTube. And then Icono and then Jay-Z, do your things.
I am XX Iconoclast. You can find me on Twitter and Xbox Live.
Jay-Z Basketball 25. You can find me on Xbox Live and on Twitter.
Oh, he did it backwards. I like
yes, I did.
But yeah, so next week should be pretty fun. At this point, I'm not even doubting we'll have a crap ton of information next week. So we'll see you then to talk about all of it. IGN still has IGN first for like 3 more weeks, and I'm excited for it. So yeah, guys, episode 25 is next week. That's a milestone as well.
Sure is.
Yep.
Dang, that's exciting. All right, guys. Well, thank you for the amazing episode. Once again, we had quite a few people in here. I'm glad so many people are enjoying the discussion topic, or the discussion aspect of this, rather. That's what I enjoy, so I'm glad to see so many people enjoy it as well. But thank you guys for coming out and joining this week, and we'll see you next one.
Peace.
Peace.